Now, what if I was to tell you Juventus were on this 4v4 counter-attack? Look at all the bodies pushing forward, and they could have killed Atalanta. The space was there. It was a counter-attack for a reason. But then Juventus decided to pass the ball backwards. And now Atalanta are back in their defensive shape. You'd probably turn around and tell yourself, what a wasted opportunity. But Juventus ended up scoring their second goal 5 seconds later. Let me explain it to you guys. What do you guys think of my new introduction? I was thinking like the Serie A campaign is about to start. It's only right to bring something new to the channel. Like give you guys a little trailer in the beginning. Maybe something a bit more enticing to keep you guys locked in. What do you think? It was nice. Like it was a bit bougie. It was a bit professional. And hello. What do you guys think? Anyways, we will touch on that later. And don't worry, I wasn't lying. Today's video, let's talk about opposition occupation. I want you to remember that. We call it the double O's. And I guarantee you, the next time you watch a game of football, just remember, there was an Arab sat on YouTube talking, but he told me one thing: opposition occupation. Because I feel like both of Juventus's goals had this in a sense. Now, Juventus, in case you didn't know, have just beaten Atalanta 2-1. Final preseason game of the season, and I feel like today's game was a little bit different in terms of what I'm familiar with of Tudor and his Juventus team. I feel like today it was a bit more calculated, it was a bit more measured. Players were utilized in different areas. I feel like in the center of the park they were a bit more fluid. There was a lot of chopping and changing, and at times the only thing that was holding them back from scoring nice goals, like nice team goals, was just that final pass, that poor decision. And I feel like you have to take it with a pinch of salt, which is Kenan, Jonathan David, Conceição, they haven't really played much with one another. So don't be surprised if that trio only gels by like game week 10. They need to understand one another. Strengths, weaknesses, how you like to receive the ball, on what foot, in what type of space. Are you the type that wants to run? Are you the person that likes it to feet? All of these type of things. Okay, but listen, I feel like at the end of the day, Juventus got the job done over the line. 2-1, they scored themselves 2 very nice goals. Okay, now let's start off with the first goal. Now, what did I mention to you guys? The double O's. Opposition, occupation. Now, football, as much as I always sit down and tell you guys, football is a mental game, football is a physical game, football is a technical game, football is a tactical game, all of these things. Football is also like a psychological game, okay? When you see here, this is when Kefram Turam receives the ball. Now, I want you to pause the video. Of course, hit the like, help her brother out. But I'm saying I want you to hit the like. Why am I repeating myself? I want you to look at the photo and tell yourself, where did it go wrong here for Atalanta, for Juric? And I'm just putting it out there. Atalanta stink. But anyways, where did it go wrong? What's wrong here? And at the same time, what's right? Now, you could see Turam gets the ball. You could see Atalanta are practically trying to go man-to-man. But why is it that 2 of their centre-halves are on Jonathan David? Literally on him. And Nico Gonzalez is unmarked, open, at the back post, waiting for the header. This is what I call opposition occupation, which is basically where the opposition players automatically gravitate towards the player that they fear the most. And there's a reason why I said to you guys, football is like a psychological game as much as it's technical, physical, tactical. For example, next time you watch like a team like Barcelona, go look at how many players automatically are on Lamine Yamal, even before he gets the ball. When you watch Manchester City, go look at how many players are on Erling Haaland before the ball even comes to him. Even if the ball doesn't come to him, they're onto him. Because they know, we can't go man-to-man with him. We can't even go 2-to-man with him. We might need to go 3-to-man. If there's 3 players on Erling Haaland, I can guarantee you Cherki is unmarked, open. I can guarantee you Marmoush is unmarked, open. Do you see what I mean? With this goal, I was just looking at it on the replay, and then I was like, why are there 2 on David? And ever since then, I kept watching the game, and I was like, whenever a cross was coming, there would always be 2 on him. They just automatically gravitate towards him because in their eyes, he is the goal scorer. He is the box predator. He is a guy that on paper has scored goals for fun throughout his career. So he is the danger. But at the end of the day, football is a team game. It leaves Nico Gonzalez unmarked, open, flick on into David. It was just an improvised finish. Yeah, it was lovely. I love these type of goals. I I love it when a ball comes into a striker and now they have to improvise, not the traditional put your foot through the ball or slot it into the corner. No, you've now received the ball in an area where some strikers across the world score. Can you show me you can improvise? Can you show me you can utilize your body, your physicality, your athleticism? And I feel like he's done a great job. And just outside of it, he really needed a goal heading into the Serie A campaign just for the sake of confidence. Because I feel like he's had a good pre-season, but with a striker, what breeds a striker's confidence? Goals. That will never change. That will never ever change. What breeds a striker's confidence? Goals. And I really wanted him to get a goal heading into the Parma game, okay? So he's gotten that goal. Now, let's talk about the second goal, okay? Because it's very, very, very similar to what I mentioned to you guys about the double O's. Opposition, occupation. Now, of course, Juventus, they're playing out of the back. Di Gregorio passes it out wide. Juventus launch it forwards. Vlahovic, feel like he done really well in terms of holding up the ball. He then feeds it down the line into Kostic. It's now looking like a 4v4 counter-attack. On any other day, Kostic puts his foot through the ball, realizes there's nobody in the box, and he's like, Mamma mia, like there was nobody there. No. I really, really, really like this, okay? Sometimes in football, yes, there is space. Yes, it's a counter-attack. Yes, you can punish the opposition for not having many bodies forward. I always turn around and say, you don't always have to pass the ball forward. You don't. You don't always have to shoot. You don't always have to take on your man. You don't. You don't always have to do it. Time, place. Now, I like this because Juventus ended up passing the ball backwards. Atalanta managed to get their whole team back. Opposition, occupation. Now, Kenan drops in. Kenan receives the ball. Look at this. Why are there so many Atalanta players on Kenan? Like, I was genuinely watching it, and one part of me was seriously baffled. I was like, why? Why are they all on him like a rash, bro? They're all over him. I was thinking, what's going on? They're all on him. But once again, why? It's Kenan Yildiz. Like, if I was on the pitch, I'd be on Kenan Yildiz as well. He's the best player at Juventus. Opposition players always gravitate towards your best players, and that's why when you've got a lot of good players over the pitch, it just becomes easy. But anyways, they automatically gravitate towards somebody like Kenan because in their eyes, we can't allow Kenan to receive the ball in this central area, take it on the half turn and carry. We can't allow him to dictate from deep. No, we have to be on him like hyenas in The Lion King. We have to be all over him. When the ball eventually reaches Joao Mario, when he takes, it was a lovely first touch. When he takes that first touch, look at this. Joao Mario's got the whole pitch to run into. Where are these Atalanta defenders? Where are these midfielders? They're all in Kenan's back pocket. They're all on Kenan because they focused on Kenan and forgot that football is a team game. And if you've got assets all over the pitch, you can punish them. He gets the ball. He charges into the space that they left because they wanted to go and chill in Kenan's back pocket. Eventually, he feeds it into Dusan Vlahovic. He done really well, man. I'll be honest with you guys. Like, he came off the bench. What is this now? Second goal off the bench. It looks like he's got hunger. Like, he's trying to send out a statement. Maybe, just maybe, it's him trying to get himself a better move than the clubs that he's been linked with. Like, let's just put it like this. Dusan Vlahovic is the most expensive super sub in the Serie A because literally, that's what he is. He is the most expensive super sub in the Serie A. But at the moment, he's coming off the bench. He's putting the ball into the back of the net. I genuinely feel like he will leave, but more towards the end of the transfer window. But Juventus, they secure themselves. I was going to say they secure themselves the 3 points, but no. Juventus, they secure themselves victory, morale boosting, confidence boosting. Players are now feeling themselves heading into the game against Parma. Jonathan David has himself a performance. Let's just put it out there. Coop Miners in this deep, bro. Not a fan of it. Not trying to see it again. Don't get me wrong. He had a relatively good game, but I'll be real, like, Juventus can do far better, okay? Douglas Luiz, it looks like he is on his way out based off reports that I've just read. 35 million with Nottingham Forest. It's looking very, very, very likely that that 35 million is going to go towards a loan fee with an obligation for somebody like Matt O'Reilly. Good addition, very, very, very good addition. But listen, it's only right we end the video with, where are the defenders? Like, come on, guys. I could have easily dedicated today's video talking about Juventus' defenders trying to play out of the back. But you know what? I'm trying to, like, fill you guys with energy, like, with confidence. That's what I'm trying to do. But don't get me wrong. I hope and pray it goes towards a defender. A defender. Bro, please. But anyways, man, it was a good performance. Atalanta managed to get a goal back. I don't know who the Juventus player that dropped to the floor towards the end. But, wow, I would be embarrassed. But anyways, make sure to like. Subscribe, and I will catch you guys on another one.